Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to do a little update on the situation in Rochester, New York. We talked about what happened, and there have been some developments. Almost as soon as the news broke, state legislators jumped into action. I've already read the bill. By the time y'all watch this, it'll probably have been introduced. And I want to be real clear on something before we get too far into this. Sometimes when I'm talking about legislation that isn't going to work the way they think, I'm low-key criticizing the people who wrote it. I'm not doing that in this case. Their heart is in the right place. They saw something they never wanted to see again, and they took the most direct route possible to make sure they never see it again. The bill bans the use of sprays against minors. Period. Full stop. That's the end of it. Under any circumstance. And I get it. That would definitely stop that particular issue from happening again. It definitely seemed excessive. So much so that I was talking to a former deputy from around here. He was a deputy like 25 years ago, and he had seen the footage. And he said, if I did something like that, Quinn would have met me in the parking lot with his mag light. Quinn was the sheriff. And I've met him. Now, I don't know that Quinn really would have hit him with a mag light, but I don't know that he wouldn't have either, because that video, that was pretty dramatic. But that little joke tells us something else too. There's a lot of stuff on those belts. If you just take away one tool, they will go to something else. A baton, maybe something worse. Most of America looked at that and they saw excessive force, because that's what we have been trained to view as excessive. Something that is just so egregious, it provokes outrage. But that's not what excessive force is. Not really. Excessive force is any force in excess of the minimum necessary to effect the arrest. That's excessive force. So, if you want meaningful legislation, don't go after a tool, because the issue isn't that a specific type of force was used. The issue is that force was used. So rather than go after a specific tool on their belt, go after the attitude. Go after the attitude. You want meaningful legislation? Introduce a bill that requires body camera footage be randomly reviewed, and any officer found to be using excessive force in excess of the minimum required to effect the arrest, loses their state certification or whatever it is y'all have up there. Again, I am not criticizing the legislators in this case. Their heart is definitely in the right place. They saw something that needs to change, and they were willing to introduce legislation to change it. Their heart's there. Now we just have to get the legislation there. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.